My name is Ryan from Reptiles, and today I'm joined with Brad Wood from Valhalla Falcons. Brad, if you want to say hello to the people.
Hi everybody out there around the world. I'm Brad Wood, and I live close to Ryan in Cheney, Washington, and I've been training, hunting with, and breeding falcons and hawks for 56 years. And it doesn't mean I'm an expert or a master, but it's been my passion.
Yeah.
And my dad, who's long passed, he says, well, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I said, I want to be a falconer, and that's all I want to do. And he says, well, they don't hire anybody like that. And so I went through high school, and then I went to college so I could be a biologist and study falcons.
Yeah.
We had to have a master's degree, and I had enough college, and I exited with a bachelor's degree. Worked about 12 years for the state and federal government as a biologist, and I taught hunter safety, firearm safety, and I got sick of it.
Yeah.
And on the side, I started selling falconry equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And I built the first ever website called Northwoods Falconry. It's still up.
Yeah.
And that website cost me $15,000. Now you can do a website for like $50.
Yeah, it's
and
really easy.
So I became a full-time falconer equipment guy, sold all over the world,
Mm-hmm.
and now I sold that business to some real good people, and so I breed falcons now. I focus on that.
Yeah.
And I've started a new business. It's called ValhallaFalcons.shop.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go there and buy hoods, leather hoods from all over the world, and several types of gauntlets, because I love the leather work.
Mm-hmm.
I love the smell of leather. I like the looks of it and working with it.
I do too.
But I have expert craftsmen making me hoods to put on the bird's head to keep them quiet.
Yeah.
And gauntlets, because I got deer leather here, kangaroo, calf skin,
Oh wow.
goat leather, and so I'm a real leather. If I could make them myself,
Leather connoisseur.
Oh my God, I tell you. And I've made another movie on hoods and another on gauntlets. You'll have to see that.
I'll have to watch those.
But I do like to help other people.
Yeah.
Get into it, get started, and you can imagine one hood. We have 30 sizes.
Oh,
that means
there's
yeah.
Wow.
And I hand tweak them before I sell them, because if they touch the bird's skin where their beak comes out,
Mm-hmm.
or when you tighten the rear of them like this, it can pinch them.
Yeah.
And if you piss that bird off or make it unhappy, it won't forget.
Yeah.
And it'll be hard to put this on almost the rest of his life. So
When
I
you-
tweak it.
Do you lose the progress of like training with that bird then when you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I have a bird called a goshawk, and I got it as a baby last year from a captive breeder.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like goshawks, and I thought, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
But the thing I didn't do, and I was advised not to, was to hood it. Don't hood the goshawk, because they are highly nervous, and they get pissed off very quickly.
Yeah.
So in that case, I decided I'm not going to put a hood on, and this bird is my finest ever.
Really?
Because it trusts me, and I don't force anything. You cannot force these on an animal. But I have a friend living in Spokane.
Mm-hmm.
He's an expert hood maker.
Yeah.
And he does hood his goshawks, and he's real good at it. But I decided some birds just don't like them.
Yeah.
But for falcons, like peregrine falcons, gyr falcons, merlins and everything, you need to hood them. Here's a tiny one. This is a tiny hood for like a merlin or an aplomato falcon.
Mm-hmm.
That some of these falcons are bred in captivity, and this is made out of kangaroo leather, which is the lightest, strongest leather we know.
Really?
And it's beautiful, hand stitched inside, and I have probably 500 hoods at home.
Yeah.
Because I sell them, but these are hand stitched and blocked when the leather's wet on a ceramic block to shape to the bird's head. There's probably 10 different steps that go into this. 4 hours or 5 hours of work.
Wow.
And so we sell them for like $50, but many others will sell this for $100 or more.
Those are nice.
And they're really nice. So
Yeah,
there's a lot of handwork that goes into these.
The quality in that too. You can just
Yes, yeah.
they're very fine.
But anyway, that's who I am. Long-winded.
Today I'm going to be kind of doing a questionnaire with Brad though. Going through some questions that I have on this laptop. So Brad's a pretty cool guy, as you can tell. He's, I think falconry is one of the first time that I met you, I was talking reptiles, because I breed reptiles.
Yeah.
I've done it for over a decade now.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I breed falcons. I'm like, that's one of the coolest things I think I ever heard. I'm like, what?
We're probably the only ones in Cheney
Yeah.
that do this type of thing. And I was telling Ryan that many, if not most of us that become falconers were first reptile people.
Yeah.
And, 50 years ago, there was no breeding of reptiles. And we would go collecting.
Yeah.
Arizona, or I was in California, and I wanted to be a herpetologist when I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
And I lived near the San Diego Zoo in California. And I visited that twice a year. And when I was 9 years old, I wrote to him and I said, I want a lot of, can you give me some snake skins, shed skins? And they said, well, you're a little young, and if you come through, maybe we'll give them to you. But I joke that if I had gone in more to reptiles, I would have wanted to be the curator of reptiles at San Diego Zoo at 9 years old. So again, you start what I've done and learned. Maybe you too, Ryan. Is I knew what I wanted to do in third grade or second grade. It was like I was born. And there were certain events in my life that put me close to wild animals, captive animals. I met the first falconers when I was 15. That was a little late.
Yeah.
But from that point,
but something stuck out to you.
It's like, this is what I want to do.
That's what it was.
Period.
Yeah.
And it hurt. It hurt. Getting a girlfriend who would like snakes or like falcons. That was tough in high school.
It's hard now.
I was when everybody was going to the football game, I was out climbing trees looking for a red-tailed hawk baby.
You kind of stand out.
Yeah. Yeah. But I also had a gaggle of friends.
Yeah.
I started a reptile club when we moved to Indiana, and I attracted 4 or 5 kids. I think we were 10 years old, and our mothers would take us out to ponds and everywhere, and we would collect salamanders, and so to this day, it's like right now I want to start a falconry club. Yeah. And for young people to learn about falconry, because there's only about 4,000 falconers in the U.S. And I was talking to Ryan, how many people do you think collect captive bred reptiles? Yeah. Like hundreds of thousands. Yeah. There's only 4,000 falconers. And so the market is tiny, but the rewards are spectacular. Yeah. And so that's kind of why we all kind of started from reptiles. Yeah. And you kind of and now I'm excited meeting Ryan. I want to buy some of his captive bred stuff, but it's like I have 50 falcons right now at home that gosh, I have to feed them when I go home today. I want to fly one. I have 3 falcons.
How much does that cost for feeding? Like what do you feed your birds?
Well, that's changed over the years, but I normally spend about $25,000 just on food. One quail is like $2 to $3 a piece. Yeah. We can feed rats, mice, pigeon, but the quail, which is Coturnix quail, the Chinese quail, is the standard. and they've gone up in price.
I have to buy quails too for the Amazon tree boas.
Really?
Because
Frozen.
Frozen. Yeah.
They'll eat frozen.
They'll eat frozen.
That's good.
I've had to do live like chicks before for some of them. I don't like it, but for some of the animals some animals will only eat live stuff.
Well, it's like right now, Ryan. We've talked about a supplement.
Yeah.
That quail breeders aren't all the same, and they may be feeding a Purina quail chow.
Yep.
Well, it's not good. It doesn't have everything in it. So I'm working on a supplement to make. You could sprinkle it on that food and make it better.
Yeah.
I raised pigeons, homing pigeons. They're the best food ever, but they carry disease.
Yep.
And they can kill some falcons. So anyway, I've sold frozen food. I may get back into that.
Yeah.
Because the nutrition, even in you and I as a human,
it's important.
Yeah. Now we're all hearing about processed foods being bad for us. Well, gosh,
lab-grown foods.
Same for animals.
All that stuff. Yeah.
Badly raised rats, badly raised quail on very bad food. I had people selling me quail 10 years ago. They fed them breadcrumbs. Oh, that's it. And there's no value in that.
That's it.
And they failed because the quails stopped breeding. Just breadcrumbs.
With the geckos, there's a lot of people that so they eat mealworms, so it's like chicken feed.
Yes.
But it's live. A lot of people will gut load like growth hormones.
Yeah.
And all these other supplements, they can get their animal bigger,
yes,
fatter, brighter.
Has that been true in the reptile arena?
Yep.
So does it work?
It does work. There's a lot of, I'm not going to name names, but there's breeders out there that know who they are.
Well, that could be going on in the falcon breeding too. I've not heard of it.
Yeah.
It's cheating.
It is. It damages the
falcon breeding and reptile breeding is very similar. We're dealing with a bird of prey is like an evolved reptile. Well, it's a flying reptile.
Birds are reptiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their brain is pretty small, but falconers are obsessed with speed, looks, and the relationship with the bird.
Yeah.
And it forces us outdoors. It's like
it's kind of a good
I like what you do because you stay warm inside.
Oh yeah,
it's turned.
I'd like to be outside with these guys, but
you have a room, 90 degrees. You could go sit in there with your sunshades on. It's like a sauna. But me today it's 25 degrees out.
Yeah.
And snowing, and I'm out there flying the falcon or my goshawk. I'm excited because I'm also hunting with them. They're not a good pet. They're highly aerial, and they're gonna. I have some scars from being bitten or.
Why did you start breeding them then? If they're.
I have a family that's grown up, and the point was I'm going to pay for their college education by breeding falcons because college costs a lot.
Yeah.
And so peregrine falcons were bringing a couple thousand apiece 30 years ago, and that's why I got into it. But I think it was an excuse. I told my wife.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pay for our kids' college if you let me
the
buy
birds.
falcons. And I went from a pair of peregrines that bred for me. They already were breeders. I paid $5,000 for them.
Yeah.
Back 35 years ago. So, and I remind people, I sell my peregrines for mostly $2,000. Well, that's the same price 35 years ago. That doesn't account for increases in prices.
It doesn't.
So we're not making a dime.
Yeah.
So we don't make a lot of money at Falcons. There's very few that do.
And
now I have 50
You're
Falcons.
training though too. That's a lot of time.
I train my own, or I just finished training a couple for other people.
Yeah.
By and large, our clients train them themselves. Yeah, every day I have to.
Yeah, you have to feed them food. That's
check the water.
Yeah.
Check if any have died.
It's
have disease.
Time consuming.
What do you do when you go on vacation? What do you do, Ryan?
I don't.
Who takes care?
I hardly go on vacation.
So you don't.
Yeah.
And so my family would want to go on vacation, so I would have to hire somebody. But my business was at home. I had 2 kids, and I wanted to be there when they came home from school. So I built an office on my property, and I was there, and so my employees, I had 5 people working, and one of them would feed the birds.
Really?
Or I'd hire, and they were always young ladies. It was like, it's hard finding guys that would even be interested.
Really?
It's very unusual.
That's interesting.
But anyway, it's tough when you're an animal person, and Ryan, you and I are talking, we love dogs, I like cats, you like cats, but you gotta have someone, if you're never gonna get away.
Yeah.
And I like to get away for a week, a year.
Yeah.
You know, just to go relax somewhere. But I really don't have to.
Yeah.
Yet I'm married, and my partner, my wife, loves to go cruising or do something.
Travel. Yeah.
So that's okay.
Yeah.
But if it was my druthers, I get excited staying. I get up at 5:30 or 6 every morning. I run out, I get dressed, go out and look at the Falcons.
Yep.
Are they okay? And then right now it's like oh gosh, it's after 1 o'clock. We only have three hours of light left, and I got a goshawk that I'm flying on an artificial lure machine. Mm-hmm. And what it is they chase a leather birdie looking thing, but it's on the end of a long, like 1,000-foot cord, and electronically wrapped up and controlled remotely. So I can make it act like a rabbit, and I simulate the flight before dark. Mm-hmm. And this goshawk, when you come up, I'll have to show you this thing, but yeah, highly speed oriented. I can't wait to catch. The ultimate in falconry is catching wild game. Yeah. Not
captive. Right?
Chickens or anything. No, but that's okay. But it's like the epitome is going out and finding wild game. So again, it's a passion. I started this other new business, the ValhallaFalcons.shop. I also have ValhallaFalcons.com that shows my birds that are being bred. Ryan and I are discussing Instagram, YouTube. That's where a lot of these are being sold. And the Middle East market is the biggest market in the world. Yeah. And we have all chased it, but supply and demand. There are too many falcon breeders now in Europe, and they're supplying too many falcons, and it's drove all the prices down.
With that many falcons, I want to go back to one of these questions. Mm-hmm. As far as significant challenges that you kind of face, or just the market in general, genetic diversity and health within your birds.
The genetic diversity is a real problem. Mm-hmm. Because let's see, 1972, way back, the peregrine falcon was listed as endangered. Yeah. And was going extinct from North America because of pesticide poisoning. And at that time, then you couldn't take them into captivity. So they're highly restricted. To become a falconer, you have a lot of hurdles to overcome because all the birds of prey are protected. But captive breeding started in that time about the early 1970s.
Was that kind of like a collaborative with Fish and Game then too?
Yes, because a place called the Peregrine Fund in Boise, Idaho, received federal funding and probably some state funding to breed peregrine falcons. Yeah. So falconers would give them their peregrines to save the peregrine. And so the Peregrine Fund bred thousands of them and released them to the wild, hoping that their bodies were clean of pesticides. The pesticides would ruin the eggshell, so the peregrine would go to incubate the egg and crush it because the shell was very thin, become pesticide. And it was one pesticide in particular called DDT. A lot of people have forgotten about it. You know, we're dumping pesticides here in Cheney and Spokane on the wheat.
Yep. The soybeans.
It has bad effects on not just eggs, but on the insects that they're killing. because those feed baby pheasant, chukar, partridge,
Yeah.
which falcons hunt and kill and eat. So there's a lot of problems with the food chain. But getting them into captivity, the breeding didn't start probably till about 40 years ago, and then it's built up today to where, just like what you're doing with genetic modification, combining different parents to get a certain color, that's being done, and often those bring the highest prices.
Okay.
And when I say a high price, maybe $300,000 for one bird.
Wow.
Okay, versus me selling for $2,000.
Yeah.
And one of those people lives near us, you and I.
Yeah.
And he is a acquaintance and a friend, and he's a multimillionaire. But it's like not all of us do that kind of line breeding or inbreeding.
Yeah.
Which you have to do to get.
You have to inbreed.
And they're going for a specific color or shape.
Yeah.
And what we're doing is we're breeding from wild birds, basically 2 generations maybe from the wild. You have some of those too.
Yeah.
I'll
pull them out actually.
But then you're modifying for color and
selectively
shape.
line breeding. Yeah.
But you can get a falcon will lay 3 or 4 eggs one time a year. That's it.
Yeah.
And you can take the eggs and they'll lay another clutch, but getting high production, oh my gosh, what's that?
So this is a fasciolatus leopard gecko. It's a subspecies of leopard gecko.
Yeah, that is absolutely beautiful and stunning. And
these are 2nd gen captive bred.
See, and I'm looking at it, I'm going, wow, look at that color, because falcons and hawks and everything, it's what a beautiful visual thing.
Yeah.
With the color, and the fact that you've done that kind of makes me want to get into it. Yet you're not hunting with it, you're not flying it, you're not.
A lot of it is just.
A lot of it is, to me, I have a German short hair dog, and a lot of it is getting the dog on point, and then releasing the falcon to go 500 feet up above you, and then flushing those wild birds and maybe catching one.
Yeah.
There's some falconers here who do that regularly.
Would you consider? Well, falcons are more so it's like a working animal, so it's something that you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
They have a job, and that's the hunt.
Yeah. A lot of the pleasure, like when I get home, like if it's dark, I need to feed them in one of my rooms with light and heat, and it's relaxes you.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to have a drink after work of a beer or something. Well, feeding your hawk or falcon, very quiet. You can't be yelling at your kids, or you can't get drunk.
Yeah.
You can't be on drugs. It's just relaxing.
Yeah.
And so I have friends that's all they do, is they don't fly their birds, but every day they sit and feed them, and it takes maybe half an hour. They pick through the meat, and then they wipe their face with their finger, and they have a relationship. It's not like a dog or cat, but it's some of the birds of prey are quite personable, and they recognize individuals, and they like some people, they don't like others. They might like men, they might not. Color of hair. Yeah. But I don't know if everybody believes this, but we are electric beings, and when you're angry, you exude a certain electric field. And I've noticed it with the falcons, with my dogs. If I've had a bad day at work, or an argument with a friend or a wife, or that's the day I would lose a falcon. Yeah. Because I'd be angry. Yeah. And I'd walk out there and do everything right, and the bird would fly away and never see it again. So I learned I tell people I'm a better person now. Yeah. I watch you handle that gecko, and I'm thinking, I never handled a gecko. Is that going to run away? And you said no, because they're used to being handled with care. And and no anger.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna eat you tonight.
Yeah.
So I like sharing falconry with all ages, especially young people, because it makes us a better human being. And when you are a reptile keeper or breeder, or I'm a falconer, and we hear that there's pesticides being sprayed on our crops that's killing the wild birds or the wild reptiles, we're going to take action.
Yeah, it makes us frustrated.
And I'll vote differently. I'll vote for somebody who cares about the survival of them. And I just moved to Spokane 3 years ago. I lived here, 40 years ago. I returned here because I like flying in the great wide open. But what I've learned is, it's a wheat growing area, and herbicides and pesticides that are being applied are affecting the things I hunt. Mostly it's pheasant and partridge and things like that.
Yeah.
So human beings alter the environment.
That's true.
Falconry, reptile keeping is a hobby. It's not essential.
Yep.
The farmers are essential, and God bless farmers. But if they would leave a little more brush or habitat,
it'd be nice.
I've got a lot of acreage here, and I'm replanting it for more birds. And I swear, we don't do herbicides or pesticides. And I have more birds, elk, deer, moose come onto my little bit of property, and I'm surrounded by poisoned areas.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I think reptiles, our passion for them goes beyond just having them.
Just having them, yeah, absolutely.
No, it's you and I are ambassadors, and I may die in 10 years, 20 years, I don't know, but that's a cause for me. Now I've done this 56 years, and I'm payback now. Payback, it's like a crusade.
Yeah.
It's like, and I figured it's the 12-year-olds, and the data shows it, is when they decide who they're going to be.
Yep. At
12 years of age, that's about 5th grade, and that's if I get asked to go to a school to talk, I won't do any other grades. 5th grade, 4th grade, I'm going to affect them. I am there to mess with their heads for the rest of their lives. And it's through positive, and I bring the animals. I bring the birds.
Check this bird out.
That gecko. Now see, I will never forget having that gecko on my hand and feeling it. And the thing is, it was so calm and assuring. And I know that when I handle that gecko, I'm thinking, it's not just, oh, I love you. No, I'm going, this is a beautiful animal.
Yeah.
And I have a couple of dogs, and every time I touch them, you're beautiful.
Yeah.
And if we would do that to our friend, not our friend, but especially our partners, our wives, husbands, life would be a hell of a lot better. And right now, it's our animals that get all
they get all this attention.
And that gecko had a personality. I swear it did. And it didn't love me, but it was tasting me, or it was
checking you out.
But I have no intention to hurt them. Anyway, so we're talking about, again, passion and why did we do this? And sure, I'd like to make $100,000, $1 million a year. I had a chance last year to do it.
Yeah.
It was a certain breed of falcon.
What kind of falcons do you breed to? I know that you have the peregrines.
I have the peregrine falcon. That's the fastest bird on earth in a dive, and they are extraordinary. The peregrines, I have different subspecies of them also.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's Anodum peregrines, Peel's peregrines. I have some that are like Fijian, Australian, 4-way crosses.
Do people usually keep them separate?
Yes, pretty much.
That's what it's like with the reptiles too.
Other people cross a peregrine. I have then gyr falcons. Peregrines, falcons are Arctic, and they're the biggest falcon in the world.
Really?
And the Arab people really like them. The problem is they're from the Arctic.
Yeah.
And we're sending the babies we produce to 115 degrees Fahrenheit. And so here in Spokane, it hits about 100. We have to be careful.
Yep.
I've never had any die at 100 degrees, but it's acclimatizing them so that when they arrive in the Middle East, they go directly into air conditioning. But in the evenings and the early morning, they'll go out and train them. And the Arabs go back over 3,000 years training falcons. And some of them, it's passed down from father to son, grandfather. They are the consummate bird trainer.
Really?
I respect them, and I'd love to spend a month with them in the desert learning their falcon training. But we have a high respect for them. Here in the U.S., we've been training falcons 50, 60 years. They've been doing it 3,000, and they've learned a thing or two.
Yeah.
And they amaze me. But the United States, has set the pace for most innovative in the world for training falcons. So that's a neat thing.
As far as like line breeding then too, or like just for more sought after birds, is that similar, or is that?
It's not done a whole lot. I kind of I don't make hybrids like from one species to another.
I've seen that
and they're very. I have made them.
Yeah.
But now, as I'm older, it's not a natural thing.
Yeah.
If you came to my house, I do have two that they were two species separate, but they bred naturally.
Yeah.
So that's very unusual. But I used to cross them, taking semen from the male, an imprinted bird, and going to the female, making this man-made thing.
Yeah.
To me, what I'm in falconry for is to learn the outside world, nature. How is nature impacting? A peregrine falcon has evolved over millions of years. You and I might take a peregrine falcon, combine it with a gyrfalcon, and go, wow, heat resistant, big bird, faster than normal, and they have hybrid vigor.
Yeah.
That's a natural thing. And so they kill more game, they fast fire, and it's like, but it's just not part of nature.
Yeah.
So it's a philosophy.
Yeah.
So we do some line breeding, and like I said, there's a very white gyrfalcon.
I've seen those.
And I breed them, but they're now called average. And so then you have super white next. That's
even more white. Yeah.
$10,000 bird, and then you go ultra white, and that's 100.
Is that like a solid white?
Almost.
Really?
And that was from special. It's line breeding.
That's like with some of the morphs and the leopard geckos.
And you just showed me some reptiles on the market. They're 60,000, 100,000, and
that's all line bred. And
here in the United States, a lot of falconers are allowed to go out and trap a young hawk or falcon, and that's what they do. They never buy one. So we are allowed by permit, and after they go through falconry training, they're allowed to catch them, and that's wonderful. So they don't pay $50,000.
How does falconry train? Like, how do you become a falconer? I guess
that's a real problem. It's a hard thing to do. And when I started over 50 years ago, there was I was in California, and I think if you paid $10, they give you a little stamp. You're a falconer. Bingo. Really? There were no books, maybe one book on it. So we learned through encyclopedias. I don't even know what that is anymore, or a movie. And so right now, every state requires a 2-year apprenticeship.
I was reading
with another falconer who's experienced.
They're the sponsor.
Their sponsor, and the sponsor then imparts their knowledge for 2 years, and during that 2 years, the beginner can wash out, they can quit, they can find out this is not what they want to do. The problem with that is finding a sponsor.
Yeah.
Okay, I've sponsored maybe half a dozen people in the past 20 years. It's not, and it takes time.
And how you mentioned how many people? Oh,
yeah, there's only 4,000 in the whole U.S. And so there's a nice animal.
I know.
Now you'd think love now, Ryan. I love this cat, and she will respond. I was glad she didn't scratch me, so I'm not telling you that I'm
she wants to
thinking good thoughts when I really am.
She wants to feel involved.
Look, yeah, she is. She's nice. But the thing is, so it's hard to get into falconry, but I tell people, if you really want to do it, you can.
Yeah.
And you have to go through the state Fish and Wildlife to do that, and it takes a couple years, and you have equipment to buy. I think you could get into falconry for $2,000, which the biggest part of that is perhaps building a shed,
enclosure. Yeah.
An enclosure.
Yeah.
The gauntlets are $50, a hood, the same.
What gauntlets do you got over here? I see that
they
look like different sizes. Is that just...
These are the ones I currently sell on that Valhalla Falcons shop. This is my favorite. I put it on the top. This is a deer leather, black, and there's some suede. And then this would be cowhide on the cuff, and I like it because I like the two-tone color. And then they come in all sizes, right, left hand. Most falconers are left-handed, so they wear it on their left hand.
Interesting.
I'm ambidextrous, so I just wear it on my left hand.
Yeah.
But it's soft leather, and it's comfortable, and it's thick deer leather, and this is my favorite. It's just a cool-looking thing. And then with each gauntlet, I give non-toxic leather grease, and I love the smell of it. It's kind of like, it looks like Vaseline.
Yeah.
It's pine pitch and maybe beeswax, so there's no toxic.
Yeah,
I
it's all natural.
Stay away from petroleum distillates, and that could kill the bird, because the bird's eating on your fist right here, and if it consumes something toxic, it'll die. So I give these, and you rub this on by hand, and I would take a hair blower with the heat and make it soak in. I have one at home right now. I stuck it in front of a little space heater, but that resists the meat juices and the blood from feeding the bird here. This can get really nasty. Yeah. And so the leather treatment has to be non-toxic. You're going to have to do it a couple times a year. I have gauntlets that are looking so bad, but they're my favorite. And so it's like, when I sell a gauntlet, it's going to last somebody 5 years. That's not very good. I better, make them crappy or something. But that one's deer. This one's kangaroo. That's been waterproofed, so you don't it'll wipe clean.
And you said kangaroo was the strongest leather, correct?
It is the strongest. I like it the most. Kangaroo is the lightest and strongest. They make the fanciest cowboy boots out of it.
Really?
It resists scuffing, and also the talons of the bird are not going to go through. It's very thin.
Interesting.
Now I'll be making another kangaroo that's softer than this. This is waterproofed, so you don't have to be rubbing oil on it. It'll resist it as it is. It's kind of a new thing. This is a French snap, and it's made in Germany for dogs, just to hook into their collar. Yeah. And they're strong, they're well made, and we clip that into the straps called jesses on the bird's legs to hold them. And this is just so it's handy. And it's specially made. You don't want much line here. When the bird jumps off to get away, or it's frightened, you're holding it by these straps, and sometimes the bird will come up and get its head through this, or its whole body. So you want to keep it small. There are all sorts of, if a bird will do something to itself, it will. Yeah. And they'll hurt themselves. And that's why you hood them, to keep them quiet. kangaroo. There's a bigger kangaroo.
Why don't we have reptile heads?
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know
New
what to do
market.
to them, but their eyeballs are so
Yeah.
big. There's one out of calf leather.
Some alligator hoods.
Oh well.
Yeah.
It's funny. I found some hoods over in the Middle East there, and I sold them for put this on your child. Make them quiet,
Yeah.
or your dog. They would actually fit a dog's head, this big, 10
Yes.
times bigger.
Small
was a
little
dog.
chunk.
This is for a big falcon.
Would that be for like a gyrfalcon then? Or?
This would be a gyrfalcon. You pull the straps and it closes it. He closes it behind their head so they can't get it off. And then the beak opening is where their beak comes out, and this is where it has to be very smooth. It'll cause sores on their skin. And so when I sell a hood, because I've had so much experience, I tweak it. I might use some of this leather oil around the face so it's smooth. I might spray it with water and shape it with my fingers.
Yeah.
So the first time you put it on, it fits. And that's taken me 30 years to learn that.
Yeah.
It's not something you pick up on. And these straps, these are too long right now. So when I sell this, I will cut them about an inch shorter because we don't like them that long. The bird could get, when they're scratching, they get a talon in it and they're yanking it off.
Yeah.
And so and we pull these open with our mouth like that. I'm sure I probably chipped my teeth on them. So it's all, you got the falcon here, and you reach, and then you pull the long straps, and it closes it.
Yeah.
So you get used to that. It takes years to learn to be a good hooder.
Yeah.
And you probably have, I just thought, you have reptile whisperers.
That's what I was gonna.
And what would the
As far as
criteria be for a reptile whisperer?
That's a good question.
when we there have been horse whisperers and
Yeah.
movies made. It's a person with a natural
I think
ability.
it's just a natural gift that an animal.
Yes, it's a gift.
Yeah.
And I think that's that electromagnetic field that we all exude. But there are people, I'm sure, born with that special.
Yeah.
It can be learned to some degree, but there are falcon whisperers, and they've devoted their lives to nothing but training falcons. And if they're good at it, they win various competitions. And I'm in the middle of there somewhere. I don't know. Like I said, I think it's made me a better person to curb being too aggressive or too bad thinking, and it's like meditation.
That's what it. Yeah.
And reptiles,
It's therapeutic.
I had snakes for years, and it was therapeutic to let it crawl all over you. I love the smell of snakes. I like the smell of birds, and I love the smell of skunks when I smell them in the spring. And when they get hit on the road, oh, it's a skunk, yay, it's such a good smell. I've had some of my hawks catch skunks.
Ooh.
And I got sprayed like a foot away, just the rear end of that skunk just sprayed me.
Ooh.
And it is an experience.
Right.
It's like you can't breathe.
Yeah.
And the hawk, the next day, it ate part of the skunk and it threw it up all over. And that hawk smelled like skunk for a year. But from a distance, these smells and the tactile, and just like that gecko, you were telling me about it, the skin cells, and they're different. It's like you have a gator,
little alligator skull there.
and I just like to touch it because it's so bumpy. It's all about, wow, experiencing
the experience. Yeah.
this stuff. And some of us do it naturally or better than anyone. And I often say, well, oh God, they have no wife, they have no partner, they come home, they go hunting, till dark and after dark. That's all they do, and they become so good at it. The rest of us trying to maintain a family or working 8 hours a day, it's difficult.
Yeah.
But most falconers don't make a living at it, and they hunt on the weekend, and they do very well. And they're usually hunting rabbits. Hunting rabbits is the number one thing. I've been looking for wild cottontails around Cheney, out in Ritzville near here.
Yeah.
There are in the sagebrush, and so I'm going to pursue those in the next couple months with my goshawk. And it's just good to get out and do that. So anyway, there's a falcon whispers.
For future falconers or people that want to get into keeping falcons, what well, I guess words of inspiration would you have for someone who wants to do that? I mean, at least from the perspective of keeping reptiles. I don't keep birds, obviously, so I don't know how that community is. With me, the reptile community it's very diverse. You have a genre of people. There's some species where people that breed them gatekeep everything. That's like what the Amazon tree boa is. I went to a whole bunch of different breeders. I tried to ask basic husbandry. No one would say a thing. But with same thing with like the leopard geckos, it's kind of a weird hierarchy or some people are
There is that going on. I think as a human species,
Yeah.
We guard our successes. Many of the falcon breeders don't talk to each other because we compete with each other.
Yeah.
And we don't share secrets. But that's changed a little bit over the past 10 years. To get into it and learn quickly, I've noticed how YouTube has a small number of how-to movies you can look at.
Yeah.
I've made a couple on just hoods and gauntlets. There are a number of books out there, although people aren't reading books as much anymore. That's how I grew up, and I have a whole library of probably 300.
These are just a few of the books.
300.
Too,
you got all these books up, and they're beautiful, just to look at. I mean, every time I go to bed, I've got one of my falcon. If I read something about falconry before I go to sleep, that's all I dream about. If I read a novel, it's not true. I never dream about it. But if I look at this before I go to bed, I'll be thinking about this. What is this one?
That's an Amazon tree boa there.
I'll be dreaming about it, and it'll be attacking me or something. But the thing is, there's a lot of falconry books. There's maybe 3 companies in the U.S. that sell books and things.
Yeah.
And before you can get a sponsor, you have to learn the vocabulary. You've been rattling off some
I probably said like terms and stuff that you don't.
It's like, where did you get that?
Like the word het. Anytime I go to an expo and then people always see like an animal that says het, they're like, what the heck does that even mean? It's heterozygous. We shorten the word to just het.
It's slang.
Yeah, it's slang.
A lot of the vocabulary for falconry came from England.
Really?
Where the kings and queens and everybody trained falcons.
Yeah. And
of course they'd kill you for it if you stole them.
So I did my
research.
That's
all the vocab came from.
I knew that these were called hoods, and I did my research. Those are called hoods.
Yeah, 2 words.
The jesses or jessies?
Jesses, and these are braces. There's a knot that we use, the falconer's knot, which we think it was originated in England to tie up your horse real quick. So it became the falconer's knot because it's a one-handed thing. I'm the fastest in the U.S. for that. At least I like to brag. Because I would be taking care of 10 falcons and come home at night and have to go into their room in the dark and untie or tie them up to their leash where they're on a perch. But so a lot of these things are learned over time, and you can get started faster looking on YouTube. I never had that. I like looking at it. You'll learn quickly.
When people reach out to people, or like say that I'm wanting to get into becoming a falconer, and I'm reaching out to you, as far as like in the U.S., or just in general,
Mm-hmm.
how easy of access is it to me to?
Every state has a falconry club, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's California, Washington, Oregon, and you go online and you can type like Washington
So
falconry.
We had that one meeting and I was talking about like the Facebook groups. I looked at a few Facebook
Yeah.
groups of like falcon,
Yeah.
you know, people.
And I've since looked more.
Yeah.
And I found like 300,000 people.
Yeah.
Among 12 different falconry posts, and so I want to explore that more. But to start out, if your Fish and Wildlife Department, who monitors and regulates hunting and fishing, they also regulate falconry.
Mm-hmm.
So go to their website, like Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife, and they'll have a section on falconry. It tells you what's required, a test.
Mm-hmm.
They'll help you find a sponsor. That's a hard point.
Are there mock tests provided or?
Yes, they're online
Mm-hmm.
from maybe a few different states. I recommend that. It's usually 150. As a reptile person, do you take a test?
Not for non-venomous stuff. There are places where you can get like a venom license. I work with some venomous stuff too, but I had to go someplace to actually get hours and everything. It's so somewhat to like an apprenticeship, how you have to require hours.
Yeah, and see, I've been a champion of not just the sponsor thing, because you may live in a town where they're 2 hours away to the nearest sponsor. If you're a 12-year-old kid or a young person, you're not going to connect with a sponsor.
Yeah.
And so I feel it should be a combination of attending perhaps a class on falconry put on by the club,
Mm-hmm.
or some of the tutorials on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then be tested on those. But it has constricted the growth of falconry. But there are falconers who argue that, hey, they don't want more falconers because they'll be competing for the hunting area. The hunting area is limiting. And I've been here 3 years in the Spokane area, and I am still exploring, finding new areas to hunt.
Yeah.
And it takes years. There are people here that have been here 40 years or more, and they're not going to share their best hunting area.
No, they won't.
Fishermen don't do it. Hunters, gun hunters.
There's herping locations that I go.
Yeah.
Where I'm
yes.
like, I won't tell anyone where that. But
Yeah,
it's a special spot where I go. It's like
Yeah, and
if people, I feel like if people were to respect a certain area, then I'd be okay with it.
Mhm.
But I've gone herping in a lot of groups where close to the Snake River, and people just like absolutely destroy. Once they like throw the stuff all around, like the debris, they'll throw the log over and they don't put it back.
Yeah, they don't put it back.
Yep, and then the animal's all stressed, and you know, it's a common sight where people go. You show up there, there's nothing there. So when you're disturbing wildlife like that,
In falconry, it's the same. If you had finding a certain hawk nest that we want, they're hard to find, and no one's going to show you. But there are people that know where dozens of them are because they put the time in, and I would ask them, and they won't tell me. So I have to go out. Like the goshawk is hard to find. And if you start climbing the tree, a nest tree, the goshawk will try to kill you and knock you out of the tree, and so it's very dangerous. But
how small are they? Too? You mentioned that
they're about the size of a crow.
Okay.
There's some being brought over from Russia that are twice the size. Everybody likes big.
Yep.
You know, they'll catch jackrabbits or something big.
This is, I guess, a question that I could ask you, off screen. But as far as like other birds of prey, what's obviously you can't keep anything that's like a corvid, anything in the corvus group, so no crows or anything like that. But you can keep owls, I assume. Some owls,
like the great horned owl. That they are not. They hunt often at night.
Yeah. Not as
very few people hunt with owls.
What about like eagles? There's like golden eagles.
They are highly restricted. They're protected, number one.
Yeah.
then restricted, very few people can do them justice, and they'll hurt you.
Yeah.
I have friends who train eagles, and they like to compare injuries. They'll raise their shirt.
Look what I got.
Look what this eagle did to me. And they were rushed to the hospital because the talons of an eagle, the size of your thumb, can enter into your body and introduce bacteria into your intestines, or they can kill you. So what I'm saying is, I don't handle eagles. They're big, they're heavy, they're dangerous in some cases.
Yeah.
And there's a small group of falconers
that work with.
They get together from all over the U.S. and there's not much to hunt with them because they're big, and they might go kill a cat, someone's pet, a small dog. It happens.
There's some animals where I think that reptiles in this instance where I support keeping of. Some I don't. Like reticulated pythons. I love the look of them, but I don't think it's really. Are you giving them the best life? A 30-foot snake?
There you go. It's like having a golden eagle, showing off with it, just carrying it around.
Yeah.
You may live in a heavily tight housing area.
Or you
there's no place to fly it.
You might have a nice area for it though too, but I also have to think with like such a large animal too, it's biology. It's it's nature. It goes long distance.
Well, they live also maybe 40 to 50 years.
Yeah. Like
a parrot. The thing is, you're absolutely right. The most popular bird for beginners and all falconers is the red-tailed hawk. And if you and I went and drove around Cheney, we'd see 2 or 3 within 15 minutes.
Yeah.
They're hunting mice. They're great at catching rabbits, and they're common. And I made a movie hunting down in Texas for squirrels with red-tailed hawks.
That's
and
really
it was
cool.
fabulous.
I'll have to watch that.
It's on. I think it's still for sale, but I took a film crew there, and it was fun making it. We don't have legal squirrels to hunt here. They're not the same, but I was with falconers there, and it was some of the funnest falconry. I thought, I'm moving to Texas, or Georgia, or Alabama, or wherever there's big red squirrels and gray squirrels.
Yeah.
But we don't have that here. So I look for cottontails.
We have a whole bunch of squirrels on the campus behind us. So
they are eastern gray squirrels, and they are unprotected. The question would be whether the campus would allow hunting.
Those things are massive. I swear, I one time had a class on campus where we had to leave class early because someone got attacked by a squirrel. On the outside of the building.
Well,
we got out of class early, so I was okay with that.
I've had friends that have had them as pets, and they're fascinating. But they'll, like, if you're a stranger, they would bite you.
Yeah.
But when they're grabbed by a hawk, they'll try to bite the hawk's toes.
Oh yeah.
And it's vicious.
Yeah.
And there have been leather ankle guards made for red tails to protect their feet from being bitten. When that squirrel bites a toe, it severs a tendon or a nerve. The hawk is ruined forevermore. They don't kill them, but those teeth. And when I was making the movie on squirrel hawking, the guy in the film had caught a squirrel so he could let it go and let the hawk chase it and show the chase. So the damn thing, it was in his hand, and it turned and bit him, and he bled all over. We had to stop the movie, and it shows the squirrel is a tough critter.
Yeah.
And their skin is tough, but the hawks love to eat them and chase them, and they have big enough feet.
They can reach around.
A red-tailed hawk can do it. You would not fly, say, a small goshawk or a smaller bird because they're not going to get a handle on them.
Yeah.
So I would live for that, just squirrel hawking.
Yeah.
But it's mostly down south in the Midwest and the East Coast, not here in Washington.
Well, I think from what we've spoken about, we've covered most of these questions on here. They've kind of overlapped.
Well, you can tell we've been in this a long time. You have been in it longer than I thought you had.
Yeah.
And congrats. And I like you as a person. See, you don't act like a snake. No, but are normally good people because we tend to work well, especially with a social animal like a dog. You learn to be the pack person,
Yeah.
and you can't be a bad person. And you can tell immediately how a person treats their animals at home.
Yeah.
Are they a good human being or not? And I'm sure there's people that probably, can you train a reptile to attack?
I don't know about attacking.
Can you even train them to do anything?
You can. A lot of my, I was actually gonna make a video about this. I have a few of my geckos and snakes are click trained.
Okay.
A lot of people. I don't know if people do that, but I have a clicker that it's like just a pen clicker.
Yeah.
And a lot of the geckos will come up. They'll know when it's feeding time.
When they hear the clicking.
Yep, when they hear that clicking.
Yeah.
And then with the snakes, I've tried it. I don't know.
The vibration.
I don't know if it's a vibration thing. They sense heat, but I also just think they know when I'm handling them versus when it's time to eat.
It's like fill my stomach. That's all I want.
Yeah.
And I want to go to sleep. But yeah, you can train. The clicker training is very common.
They do it with alligators
mammals.
too. Some people do it with alligators. There's I have a buddy who does monitor lizards and tegus. They're those are crazy smart. I'll tell a story real quick. So he had this guy that I know who's down in Florida. I won't name you, but he's probably gonna watch this. He had a croc monitor, which they're one of the larger monitor lizards. And I believe that they're the longest.
Wow.
I don't work with monitors, so I'm not knowledgeable on the Varanus genus, but they're super smart. And this croc monitor had a dual door system, so its enclosure had 2 doors, and but it had a strict feeding schedule, and it remembered its feeding schedule and would wait for him to leave the area, and it actually opened the doors, broke out, and it waited for him to come in to act like it was feeding time and attacked him.
Oh my. Oh my.
It's like to me it's like Jurassic Park.
But it's like they have. I'm trying to think, why would a monitor have that brain? It had a different brain capacity as well as, aren't they a social species where
they're
on
smart.
an island or they have to interact with each other.
Yeah, they're highly intelligent.
And I think that has developed their brain and their ability to learn.
Yeah.
And so we can't just say all reptiles
or reptile brain.
I don't think I ever got that yelled at me. Oh, let's see. My wife
a couple times
calls me different names, bird, animal, person, pet keeper, and I find that as a positive thing. Call me anything. I'm not a murderer. I'm not a drug addict. I don't overdo things.
That's the funny thing. So my parents and like my grandparents, and they thought, when you're in high school, they're like, at least he's not doing drugs and he's spending thousands of dollars on reptiles. That's
what my parents must have said. Yeah. And so, and you reflect on this as you and I do this longer.
Yeah.
And I'm older, and my time on Earth is getting more limited. That yes, I chose the right thing. There's nothing else I would have wanted to do.
That's this.
Every day I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
I'll do it until I can't walk or talk, but it's like.
But it's in you is the thing.
Yeah, it is, and I keep doing it.
Yep.
And I learn. The thing is, there's something I learn almost every day, because I've been training 7 falcons in a row in the past 3 months, and it's really difficult, but I learned more than I could have in 5 years because it condensed and it tested everything I've learned in over 50 years.
Yeah. And
some things weren't working, and some were breaking their feathers. We should have used plexiglass instead of plywood because they were breaking them on the plywood. So I learned, and there's people around me. There's like you. I mean, you seek these people out.
Yeah.
If they'll talk with you.
That's the hard
share
part.
Breeding secrets.
Yeah.
Or just what we're doing, and I find so much in common between breeding of reptiles and breeding of birds of prey. By talking with Ryan and he's sharing a little bit I say, yes, we do that. Yes, we do that. Yes, we're concerned about that.
There's a lot of crossing over, I feel like. A lot of
And
shared,
really, well, the biggest difference is I go out and try to hunt with the birds outdoors, and it's that's where the limiting factor is. You could have 300
and I try
reptiles.
to grow my collection. Just
well, I would too. I would too, and I've had other friends that have them lying in the walls in their homes.
Yeah.
And they were commercializing it, and I thought I'd make a ton of money breeding falcons, and it really hasn't happened. And
I'm still waiting for the $1 million for the geckos and the snakes.
and yeah, you know, and when I see a falcon sell for $300,000, one sold for that a week ago. I think it was in the Middle East in an auction, and I just like, what? Some people have billions of dollars, and a $300,000 purchase is nothing.
Yeah.
But to most of us that are middle class or less, $1,000
that's
is
a lot of money. Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm down there, reasonably priced, and I'm going to do things that are a little different, so I stand out in the market.
Yeah.
But my main fun is flying the birds.
Yep.
Not the breeding is just putting them
it.
in a room, putting them in it's like a box.
Yep.
It's just a big room, and you throw food to them, and it's not ethereal, it's not spiritual, it's just making babies.
Yep.
And then trying to sell them.
Yep.
And you can imagine
That's the hard part.
shipping on the airlines is really difficult.
Yeah.
People pay me, or did, a lot of money to get their birds shipped overseas, because we'd have to jump through a lot of hoops. So there's a lot in common, a few things that aren't, and I'm learning, just running into Ryan, that breeding of these reptiles has come a very, very long way, and I think I could learn things genetically. You almost need to know how to combine these different colors or attributes.
It takes
I've just
time.
taken raw material and put it together, and you hope you get a good bird. But it's not always true. Anyway, hey, nice. Put her there, buddy. And I hope we do something else together, and maybe we'll let's have a time to do some live birds in another.
Yeah, we've
time.
got to plan that.
We have to make sure that the birds don't attack your geckos.
Oh yeah. Geckos versus falcons.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on here and being willing to just talk about falconry. It's something that's intrigued me for sure.
And you can, and I do encourage people, if you want to contact me, you can go to the website valhallafalcons.com or valhallafalcons.shop. You're reaching my mobile phone. You can email me from those sites, and I will respond to you. I think that's important, and you won't get an AI thing, or you won't
have someone.
You'll
like
talk to me.
Yeah.
So I will say, go ahead if you have a question, and by all means, buy a hood for your reptile.
Yeah.
Try it on. Or a gauntlet to handle those venomous ones.
Yeah, I mean, my gauntlets are a little bit different.
Those are, you can get that at the hardware store.
Yeah.
That looks like deer skin.
I think it is.
I think it might be.
I just bought these for outdoor work, but I thought it'd be.
Well, it's like your geckos don't bite. Does anything bite that you have?
The snakes do, but I'm used to them biting.
Oh,
so
please, I hate that.
I just let it happen. It's just like, he's gonna bite me.
And I get puncture wounds, and those are the worst
I
because
have a little bite here. It's a small one, but that was one of that larger one that I showed you. He got me pretty good.
Do they chew or do they just clamp?
They got long teeth, so they bite,
do.
they kind of rip. So.
Oh,
yeah.
Sure. Well, I guess I won't be buying one anytime soon.
But I will have all of Brad's information linked below. Thank you everyone for watching and showing up.
Yeah.
So everyone have a great day, and hopefully we'll get Brad on here again soon.
Well, thank you, and go and buy a reptile and get more into it. I think it's a great thing. I should get a couple of them. But
if you want some, I'll just give them
when I
to
make
you.
$100,000 on the sale of one falcon, I'll come buy you out. Okay. Okay.
Alrighty.
Thanks.
Thank you everyone. I'll
See you later.